Yeah.
Working hard, do you?
Funny, Brian just told his kids about when I'm going on vacation. I asked him why he was so concerned.
He wants to make sure you have a good time.
He keeps going, you really should. Where are you going? Where are you taking a vacation? He's kind of fishy to me. I don't even think it's going to be parted. I told him you scoping him out on the webcam. Dalton's like,
The way you guys are doing this with laminating bags. From this point, you could actually pull this and seal it. Yeah. Go ahead and trim that excess off, please.
Actually, I'll probably cut it down here.
Okay, is that what you want to do?
Yeah, just so it's we're counting on the thickness of it, the exact diameter of that tooling to allow the lock to
Go ahead and trim that down. Let me finish heating that up. Do you tape it into place then? What do you do?
What did I do last time?
Because me, I would trim it right along here. That's what I personally would do. But
Let me trim it at the pivot point.
machine. Okay. And the reason that I dry my bag like I do is the pulling no vacuum on that inner liner, on that inner PVA bag, and drying it, I'm bridging over the fine little holes that are in this foam. And it's inherent to all foams. You know, they've all got those little bitty holes that are in them, because it is a porous material.
Right.
By drying the PVA bag like I did and then not pulling vacuum, I'm bridging that. Now, if I do need, let's say that I've got a deep popliteal area, a deep patella bar, you know, something that's going to create an indentation. If I feel like my outer PVA bag won't suck it in, then I'll pull vacuum on my inner PVA bag. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I'm using the judgment call on whether or not I think that my outer bag is going to pull it in. Like, you know, you've got these bridgings right here, but that's very minute.
Okay.
Your outer PVA, when you pour the resin and suck that vacuum in, is going to pull that in.
Makes sense.
But again, you've got a deep patella bar, deep popliteal area, and you know you've got a difference 3/8 of an inch deep. It's not going to pull that in. Just trim the excess off. And when you do it this way, you want to make sure that you don't leave enough hanging down here that it would suck up in here and seal off your vacuum source.
That's true.
That would frustrate the living daylights out of you. You're laminating, you're like, oh man, I can't get me vacuum.
Why am I not vacuuming?
All right, you go ahead and get yours ready, and I'll get this. You go ahead and work on yours.
Yeah. Cooling lamination going.
Cool.
Yeah. Got a couple more. Okay, my colors and you're good to go.
So you guys use that one with the two-way missing?
Yeah, the black one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was, when I hung my legs here the other night to do them, I couldn't find how you did that one. And I basically took the black one and actually put a bit of pasta to cigarettes so it didn't move all over the place and went with it.
This is really good. This is good for strength. Believe it or not, this is not the strongest composite material to use in a socket. And from testing that we've done out there, good old-fashioned, inexpensive nylon stockinette is one of the strongest materials out there. And then the Nightglass, Nightglass is fine, and we definitely want to use this. But there's a. Do you have anything like a sheer pantyhose nylon material in the building? All right. We're trying to get a sealed socket, right? The epoxy molecularly links and it crosses. Well, as it's in the setting process, it closes. Okay? If we have a few layers of this, it actually helps to hold that together long term and give you a glass-like surface on the inside of your socket. Okay? And what we're shooting for, of course, is not just the ability to hold vacuum here in your lab when you test it, but it's also when you send it out to that facility.
So this is going to work because this is what we have, but if there's something we need to get that would be better.
This would work fine. It's got a fine enough weave to it.
Okay.
And I like the white, it's what I consistently use. I don't know what the brown is going to do on the inside of my lamination.
Okay, good.
Okay? But this would work fine. Because epoxy sticks to epoxy chemically. All they have to do is wipe the surface with alcohol or acetone, clean it off, mix up a small amount of the epoxy and brush it right into that area, and it will seal
Reseals it.
the surface of it. So it's fixable out in the field.
It's good to know.
You're going all the way down with that, right, Michael?
Yeah, I'm just trying to coat it.
I wouldn't worry about the clay. That little bitty ring of resin in there, so as soon as you spin that,
I'll break it.
it'll-
All right, I'm going to put 4 layers. Yeah, I'll twist this around and get back to it. Go ahead and lay yours up similarly. And again, what we're looking for is an inside slick surface. We want to try to get it as smooth. It seems to be all the rage today is to get that smooth inner surface. As an amputee, you can't tell the difference.
The liner.
You're wearing a liner anyway, and so what if you feel the weave of the stockinette in your socket? But I don't know if it's a perception of perfection from the level of education that our practitioners have today. They want that very slick surface. You know?
Yeah. It's probably perception.
I think that's what it is.
So you don't think it's a perception from the patient's point of view? Like I go back to the Cush lock tops. Just before the EV, we made a little lock that just had a little rubber ring around the top of it. Whereas, they got that much rubber at the end of their liner that some people wanted that.
Once the patient sees one thing, they'll get stuck on it.
Yeah. It's like their first prosthesis was the best.
Yeah.
The only one that ever fit them.
Yeah. I've been an amputee since 1975. And my when I got my first leg, it weighed 15 pounds. It was made out of wood.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I thought it was the greatest thing since sliced bread. I could get up and do anything I wanted to do. The one I'm wearing right now with elevated vacuum weighs 3 pounds.
Wow.
And I've got an energy storing foot on it.
He'll be back.
Yeah, don't steal that scale long term. We need it.
Boy, I'll get lost.
We'll be hunting him down.
He's got one he can do by volume, the other one he's got to weigh. He'll bring it right back.